Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday. The kids are out of school in San Diego and life is changing. And so I'm like even in a t-shirt with my hair in a ponytail, and it's fun for the summer to get started and rolling. And I hope that you guys are all ready for a fun summer as well. So as you know, my name is Catherine Nunez, and I'm the host of The Art of Inspired Selling. On this show, I interview B2B service providers to bring information to you so that you're not just surviving in the new normal, which is like, what do we call it now? But we're still going to call it that until we're like all back to the same things we always did in the past. But so you're not just surviving, but you're thriving. And today I have a guest on the show whose name is Hannah Chapman. Now, Hannah is a wealth advisor, but today she's going to talk a little bit about lighting up your desires to build a business and the legacy that you love. Now, legacy is a term that not everybody uses, but legacy wealth, legacy business, legacy, like something you can call your own, where you can leave something behind, right? A legacy. So we're going to talk about what lights you up. And if you are on my email list, you got a little bit about defining about what lights you up. And Uncle Google says that something lights you up if it makes you excited and animated. So something that that just brings this beautiful thought, and you smile and you move and you dance. Like I find a penny and I do a money dance, right? So finding money on the ground lights me up. So what is it that lights you up? And when you wake up in the morning, are you already like on fire to start the day? Are you living your passion? Do you know what's going to happen? Are you planning as much as you can for the future, right? We're not in control of everything. Well, today, Hannah Chapman is going to talk to us. She knows exactly how to help abundance-minded entrepreneurs find financial clarity and put income building and saving strategy in place that will allow them to live their wildest dreams. Wild West. Having grown up in a family full of entrepreneurs, she understands the entrepreneurial roller coaster from all angles and helps her clients make aligned money decisions from a business and personal perspective as few other financial professionals can. Hannah holds the Certified Financial Planner, in case you guys wondered what CFP stood for. She's an Accredited Portfolio Management Advisor, APMA, and a Chartered Retirement Planning Counselor, CRPA designation. So I came from the medical field, and we could make jokes all day long, probably a stand-up comedy show about all the acronyms. It looks like the financial industry could be right there with us. So in this talk, Hannah will leave you how to discover what you truly desire, how to align your time and money, and she's going to talk a little bit about wealth, impact, and more. So let's close that window and let's bring my next guest on.
Hello. Hi, Catherine.
Let's see, which background do we want to use today? Let's go with that one. And you can see my little friend, Frida the Llama Corn. So you guys, welcome to the show. Hannah, where do you live?
I am in Cincinnati, Ohio right now. And I would wish I was in San Diego because we're under a tornado watch.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so it's like been pouring off and on, and there, is the potential for a tornado. So we're good right now. We'll just pretend it's fine. We have a basement. Right? All good.
Okay. Well, I don't think I've lived. Yes, I did. I lived in Florida for 13 years. So we did have tornadoes. We used to see the spouts come down. So, in Florida, we had rain, hail, hurricanes, tornadoes.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. Lots and lots. In San Diego, we have May gray, June gloom, sunshine, a little bit of rain, more sunshine. So it's really great. So as people come on, I want to remind you guys, please, in the chat, if you have any questions, post them. I'll set up my cell phone so that I can monitor some of the other platforms. Make sure that you let Restream know that it's okay to have your name show up on either Facebook or LinkedIn, wherever it is that you're commenting from. Hannah, let's talk a little bit about you and your personal brand. What inspires you to get up as an entrepreneur and do what you do?
Yes. In your intro, that was like, that's it, right? Like, what is it? Are you doing the thing that lights you up so that as you go through your day, like everything feels good? Like you are excited to talk to your clients, or you're excited to work on your product, or you're excited to work on the next presentation that you get to present to the world, right? That's bringing what you desire into your work is what makes it feel so good to be an entrepreneur. So what lights me up is the fact that I get to work with entrepreneurs that, like, literally anytime I have a client meeting on my calendar, I'm like, oh, I get to talk to this person today. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear how they're doing. I can't wait to hear what's new. I can't wait to support them through whatever is feeling, heavy or hard. And it's just that building those relationships and getting to like be a part of their life and their business. And that's what lights me up. It really truly does.
That's great. That's great. I love, right? It's fun to have that passion about what you do, right?
Yes.
It's not, I love my job. And is it a job? No, it's my passion. It's my company. And I love
Mhm.
serving business owners, B2B service owners, and I love, my passion is to help women, right?
Yeah.
Women, female entrepreneurs. That's what I love. All right, so you guys, we see people joining us on Facebook, and I can't even see if you're here on LinkedIn. So I'll check that in a second. So Hannah, what are you going to talk about today with the audience?
I'm
Tell
so
us.
excited.
Yes.
Yes. So we are going to talk about lighting up your desires to build a business and a legacy that you love. And you made a really good point with legacy too. Like, not everyone uses that term, but what happens when you start to actually light up your desires, and when you start to see what you actually want in the world coming to fruition, suddenly that starts to spark more.
Mm-hmm.
And what I call that part is the expansion of desire. So it's not just about what do you want, right? Business coaches, lots of other people can help you get to what do you want. But there has to be an action step that goes with that. So we're going to talk about, what does it mean to light up your desires? How do you do that? How do you start that process? And then what are the action steps? The next part is alignment. How do we align ourselves to make those desires a reality? And then
Mm-hmm.
as you are aligning, as you're moving towards your desires, that naturally starts to expand. You start to expand your revenue, you start to expand your income, you start to expand your impact. And then you start to get more desires into your awareness. And it turns into this beautiful, virtuous cycle. So yeah, we're going to go through that today, and I'm really excited.
That's great. So let's get started. So the first thing you said you want to talk about is expansion, right? You said as you align your desires over and over again, you will naturally start to expand. A little bit like goal setting, right? When you start to
Mhm.
set your goals and reach them, it just makes you want to set more, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about the first thing. And you guys, I'm going to drop the link in the chat to a document that Hannah is sharing with you. So let me pull that up while Hannah gets started.
Yeah. So is that the Light Up Your Desires
Mm-hmm.
PDF? So what this does, these are journaling prompts. So yes, download those, print them out if you want, or if you have a notebook and a piece of paper, so that you can read the prompts and follow along. What those are is it's a way to start, get your engine turning, get your brain thinking about, what is it that I want? Because when we start, creating,
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs are extremely creative. So I'm not just talking about the photographers and the artists and jewelry makers and like actual like creative fields, musicians,
Artist, artsy,
artists.
creative.
Right.
Yes.
No, entrepreneurs, every entrepreneur is a creator. Like, we are all creating something, right? And so when we create from a space of like, I guess this is what I should do, or this is what other people are telling me is the right thing to do. When we create from those spaces, we are not creating what we truly desire, and it's not going to feel good. We are not going to want to wake up and do that thing every day, right? So when we start by defining our true desires, that's where we can start to point in the right direction. So the light up your
I'm going to
desires.
take notes for us. Define your true desires.
Yes. So
Okay.
when you are looking through those prompts, the very first thing that, I'm asking you to do is to really like use your imagination. What do you desire to do that's different from what you're doing right now?
Okay.
Very first thing. What are you doing in your life? And so that's as entrepreneurs, what are you doing in your business, especially? What do you desire to do that's different from what you're doing right now? And maybe you're super lucky and you're doing exactly what you want to do. And that's great. So maybe your answer, if that's the case, is I want to do that. But when you look at the PDF, you'll see, maybe what you want is kind of out there. Maybe you desire, I've heard this one before and it was so beautiful. Someone telling me that she desired to write a check for $100,000 every single quarter to feeding hungry children. Like she wants her business to grow and grow and grow so that every single quarter she can write a check to, the nonprofits that are feeding children. And that's not something she's doing a little bit of that right now, but it's not as big as she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's one of those. Do you desire to travel more? Do you desire to live abroad? Do you desire to, do something just different in your life? Right. That's the first step.
Okay.
Next,
and you guys will see the journal prompts when you download the folder. I'm sorry, the document.
Yes, absolutely. And the second one, what do you desire to have that's different from what you have right now? Now, this is a really interesting question. And this is a place where I support my clients a lot because a lot of times, what do you want to have? People start to say, yeah, I want that. I want that new car, or I want that house in the location that I really love, or I want that second home. And then you start dialing, you like, oh, maybe I don't need that. Maybe I don't actually need that thing, right? I can stay smaller. I can stay lean. Like all of those pieces. There's a
It gets
place.
scary, right? It gets scary to dream big.
Yes.
And
So
then people keep it as dreams.
exactly. And so when we do that, when you say, oh man, I really want that Tesla. And I don't want the Model 3, I want the S, right? Like when you say that, and then you go, but no, I don't really need that. You just made that wrong. You just made your desire wrong. And you just told yourself there's no reason for me to go after that. And so we stop the process of creation when we see our desires and then just go, be the first ones
Unattainable, too
right.
much.
Don't even, yeah.
I'm not materialistic. Nah.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you start like putting all these value judgments on yourself, all these morality pieces on yourself, and that's money mindset. That is 100% your mindset towards money. That is coming into play with that. Those stories that, if you were to allow yourself to dream as big as you want, that's where you can allow yourself to then build as big as you want, right? So don't tell yourself no when you say, what do you want to have? Just write it out. Just let it go. If you want the car, if you want the house in Malibu, if you want to, have a designer closet, if you want the Fendi bag, right? Yes, write it down. It is okay. Like, just let it be and see what comes out, because everyone is different. Some people might want the ultralight, backpacking equipment that costs 6 times more than the regular backpacking equipment, right? And that's fine. Some people want the Bentley. Some people don't give a crap about a Bentley. What is it that you want? What lights you up? What makes you excited to have?
And it's interesting because those mindsets, in my humble experience, change with time.
Yes.
Right? They change with time. When I was in corporate America, you knew a paycheck was coming all the time. And so a materialistic gathering of things started to happen. right? And now as a full-time entrepreneur, I think a little bit differently, because
Mhm.
it's more about changing lives and helping other people grow, and it's not for me so much accumulation of materialistic things. It's more
Right.
experiences now, and what you're talking about, more legacy. Like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, what am I leaving for my children? How am I helping my children become better people? What am I doing to help them get out of college so that they don't have student loans? My
Mhm.
thoughts and my desires are changing
Yes,
at this
absolutely.
season of my life.
Absolutely, and that is 100% accurate, right? And but allowing yourself to follow that, it's a practice to literally just allow it to be, right? If you let it keep coming
Mhm.
every year, it is gonna change, right? And yeah, maybe you do the backpacking thing for a while, maybe you do the travel around the world for a while, and then you feel like, "You know what? I really wanna nest again."
Mhm.
And that's okay, right? Like, it's the allowing the cycle to just keep on going.
And
And
I'd
so
love you guys to drop in the chat while we're talking, if there's something, some of your dreams, like what are your
Mhm.
true desires? I'd love to hear from you. And once again, I probably need like 10 screens set up here so that I
Right,
can
yeah.
answer everybody. I'm sorry that Restream isn't allowing everybody to respond as they want to. All right. So do you want to move on to the next one, other than, let's see, we just did desires that's different.
Right, yeah,
Who do you
exactly.
desire to be is the next one,
Right.
right?
Yep,
Okay.
who do you desire to be different from who you are right now? That's a big one for entrepreneurs as well. If we are in our business and we are doing the doing, like all the things, right? Do you desire to do all those things, or do you desire to be the CEO of your business?
Right.
And that is a huge one. And that is a place for growth and a place for scaling. And Catherine, we were just talking a little bit about that, right? Like that comes with its own challenges as you do so. But understanding that if that's a desire that you have, if you want to stay a solo and I just want to take one contract at a time and enjoy the work, perfect. Have that be what it is.
Right.
But if you want to make a bigger business, if you want to have employees, if you want to, just have a bigger impact on more people, then, you need to follow that. You need to allow that to come out of you just to see what it is.
Yeah, and allowing it to come out of you at your own pace,
Mhm.
as the universe has set for you, right?
Yes.
And I coach a lot of my solopreneurs on that. They're so
Mm,
stressed out about, well, so and so's doing this, and I feel like I should be doing. I'm like, whoa, time out, right? Like,
yes.
let's take some of that off of, you're the CEO of your business. As long as we have projects and we're moving forward, that's great. But
Mhm.
the pressure of what everybody else is doing can also cloud what you want to have done. That's why these things are super important. You could even rewrite this daily.
Yes, you can.
Like, these
Yes.
could be journal prompts for daily, because some people,
Mhm.
journaling throws them for a little bit of a loop. So if you have journal prompts like, who do you want to be today? Who do you desire to be that's different today from who you were yesterday?
Mhm.
Like, that's a really good journal prompt. You could just do that daily.
Yeah. Yes, and what you are speaking to right now is that difference between what you're seeing out in the world and what you're truly feeling. So that literally is that disconnect, right? So and so is doing this. I feel like I should be. I feel like I should. This is not what you should be doing. This is not the energy behind it, right? Like stop shooting on yourself, right? That's
Yeah,
the
I see that a lot.
a
But
lot.
I also give people warnings. I'm about to shit on you.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. If you've made it, yeah, if you've
Yeah.
made it there. So, yes, so that is where that's the introspection that we're trying to get into, and the headspace that we're trying to get into is not what should you be doing? What do you truly desire? What is it that really matters to you? Not what Tony Robbins is doing, not what Gary Vee is doing. Like it doesn't matter. It's how do we create the business and the life that matters to you specifically? Um, And but yes, that does 100% take that coaching. If you're having blind spots and you're feeling like, I should be doing anything different.
Yeah, can we put that? Yeah, there. Who do you desire to be that's different from who you are right now?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so we don't have to go through every single journal prompt that's in here. But what it really does get you thinking about and going through is what do you want to accomplish, right? Like, what are the important things that you want to do personally? What kind of life do you want to provide for your family? If you have children, what matters to you? Everyone has different ideas about education or experiences, or what matters to you. It doesn't matter what your brother-in-law is doing for their kids, or what someone else in your child's school is doing, right? It matters, what are your values, what are your family values, and what do you want to provide?
Yeah, this all goes into everything that I teach as well when developing your personal brand, right?
Mm,
What matters? How
yes,
do you show up?
yes,
What do you want to accomplish in your life? If you don't like to feed children, then don't feed children.
right.
Feed dogs. Feed yourself. I don't know. Just
Right,
something. Just something, you guys. Really stand
exactly.
for something and understand what resonates with you and your values. Really
Hmm.
great lessons. Yes.
Yes. So the one other personal, what on the personal side of those journal prompts that I want to speak to, because I am a wealth advisor and people ask me about retirement all the time, is that retirement does not have to mean the same thing it does for everyone. I
Mhm.
have clients who are like, why would I ever retire? Like, I love what I do. I could consult for 5 hours a week with one client I love and make, six figures. Why would I
Yeah.
stop doing that? And so truly, yes. What do you think about when you consider retirement as a concept? So, Catherine, I'm going to ask you, what do you think of when you think of retirement? What does that bring up to you?
So retirement for me means I will live in 3 different cities,
Mm.
and I will have my business running, and I will work 40 hours a month,
Ooh,
and I will, well, the cities I'm going to live in, you guys ready? San
yes.
Diego, San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. And I'm torn right now between a pied de terre in Paris or in Biarritz. So
Mm,
I'll get back to you on that because it could be one summer in Paris and then one summer in Biarritz. I'm not sure yet, but I already know that's what I'm going to do. And I'm already getting rid of all my stuff.
mm.
It is set in place and the dates are set. And I'm leaving June 16th
Oh my
already to go to
God.
Mexico. So I'm already starting the pattern. And I went to Paris over the holidays, and I went alone and I stayed there. And then I'm going alone to Mexico. So I'm already setting that path because I don't want it to be some far off thing that never happens.
Mhm.
I'm taking the steps to make sure it's going to happen because it's really what I want. It's what my soul desires. So,
Mm.
yes,
That is gorgeous. That is gorgeous. It's so different. I have never heard anyone say that before,
interesting.
right? I mean, yes, I have had people who want to travel or who want to have, houses in two different places, but that specific vision, that is unique to you. And that is absolutely beautiful. And that's exactly what I'm asking for in that prompt.
Mhm.
What is it to you? It's not, for some people, like sitting on a beach all the time, or, full-time RV living, or, like, well, I'm from Arizona, so like retiring to Scottsdale,
Yeah, we had that conversation,
right?
right? We're from Arizona. There's no, wait, let me do a scan real quick. Nope, there's not a single cell in my body that wants to go back to the desert of Arizona. I just can't even
So
imagine.
it's so hot. Yes, but I mean, like that's what some people think of. Like, oh, you go and live in a retirement community and you just sit there and you don't do anything and you live on a fixed income, right? That's not retirement, and especially for entrepreneurs, that is not usually the anywhere in your dream. So you have to create it. You have to look inside yourself and see what feels like, oh my gosh, I want to keep
And
experience.
what's interesting, you guys, would to get with someone like Hannah or with Hannah. I even yesterday was seriously calculating, right? Because I've retired I'm in my third retirement. I just came out of retirement. Let's just talk about that for a second.
Oh my God, I love it.
So, how much money do I need right now that it's getting very close to me, which is about 5 years away? So, how much money do I really need? And then what's my plan to get there? And am I taking a step every day to get to that retirement? And if I don't know how and it feels overwhelmed, then I better start listening to more investment webinars, or like, let's become educated so that it's not scary. And all Hannah's acronyms of CPA, PMA, blah, blah, blah,
Yep.
they
Oh, my
don't
letter
feel
too.
crypto, NFTs, all those things that might make you overwhelmed. You've got time to learn. So start educating yourself on that. Unless, instead of spending so much time on Instagram learning how to do it, unless you're going to be an Insta famous revenue generating person through Instagram, how about you turn a little bit of your time over to learning about different types of investments and what are they? I mean, why not have why not have more conversations around money and wealth? A friend of mine, Catherine Zacharias, said, shout out to you. She does wine, women, and wealth every week. She has get-togethers. All my favorite things. So, yeah, navigate those waters and understand. And I've also had friends. Now I'm talking instead of you, but if I had friends that have gone through divorce and they never bought a house in their life, they never negotiated a car lease in their life, they didn't know what to do, and it was overwhelming for them. So I really would love to see women with their own money and their own abilities to make financial decisions. And I've bought and sold 10 homes in my life. Like, I've done a car every 3 years. Just I opened offices in other countries. Let's do it. It doesn't just do it. Just experience life and add those experiences to your life. I don't know.
Yes. I could not agree more, because it's a slight tangent, but it's not really, right? Like, this is really actually very central to this whole discussion, because a lot of times women specifically have never allowed themselves to even like dive into what they truly want. Well, what do my kids want? What does my husband want? What is my, like, what is expected of me? No, that's not what we're talking about here. You're not going to build a life that lights you up if you are going from somebody else's expectation all the time. And so even just this exercise, like, what do you want? What is it that you desire? If you have, and it's right there on when you download the PDF, it's right there in the first paragraph. It's a beautiful exercise to do separately. If you have a spouse, if you have a business partner, anything, like, you do your own. You do not do it with someone else. You do it by yourself, because you need to identify what it is that you truly desire, because you can have that.
And it's hard, I believe. I don't know. I haven't been married, but I believe that you get so intertwined, your finances get intertwined, that sometimes you forget, like the Runaway Bride, right? Like, how do you like your eggs?
Right? I don't even know, right? Yeah.
What kind of stocks do you want to invest in? What is it? Do you want to get into cryptocurrency? Your husband may say no, but what about you? Maybe you want to learn about it and you want to invest in it. You should have an equal say in how that money gets invested.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's women having agency over and understanding of their finances is one of my, when you go all the way through, what's the impact that you want to make in the world with your business? That is one of the biggest impacts that is on my heart to make in my business over my lifetime, is to help women have the understanding and the agency that they need over their money so that they can live beautiful, financially free lives.
Define that for us. Have the agency over.
Oh gosh. That means if you need to buy a house, you can do it, and you believe that you can, and that if you don't know all the answers, you have the resources available to help you do it. That means that you understand what your investments are and why you have them. That means you understand how much money you need and how you're taking it and how long it's going to last. And you are making decisions about that rather than someone else, like doing it for you all the time.
Yeah. Like
And
I got the kids, I got the cooking, I got the laundry, you have the bills and the money.
exactly.
Right. That's
Exactly.
the traditional, typical American way of doing things.
Right. Yes. And that is okay. I am not saying that that's not an okay thing. If that's the split that makes sense in your household. But what I have seen from my seat as the financial advisor, I have seen couples where, but just what you're saying, with a divorce or with if the husband passes away, the wife has literally never paid bills. And so you need to at least have, be involved in the discussions and be allowed to ask your questions. And so that was the piece when I was shifting into the advisor role from and watching the other older male white advisors, the demographic, that's just what it is. A lot of times they would hear a question from a wife and say, "Oh yeah, that's nice." Turn to the husband and talk.
Yes.
And it's like I'd be sitting there like I'm supposed to be watching and learning how to be an advisor. I'm like, did you just completely
Dismiss that woman sitting there?
Yeah, like you didn't answer. You answered the husband when you were talking, and she's the one that's trying to get her questioning. I was like, that really, but that is what we have experienced for decades. That is what women expect when they walk into that room, right? They expect to not be spoken to. They expect to not have their questions answered. They expect to feel shamed or guilt or like anything that comes around money. We're just told all these messages that aren't true, right? Women control, it's almost half of the household wealth at this point, right? Like we control trillions of dollars in just the US economy alone. Like we need to understand that we are empowered and we have agency of how we spend our money and how we understand our money. So there was
this is your pep talk for June, ladies.
right. There's my soapbox, among the others.
Yes.
Yes. But so as you're going through this, so important to like tap into your heart, tap into your desires, what feels good. And then Catherine, you started to move into this space next, which was, taking the steps every day. That's the alignment. That's the alignment of once you know what your desires are, we have to align ourselves so that we are taking the right action steps every day. Truly, this framework goes for literally any goal that you have, whether that's in your business or your personal life or with your money. If you want to buy something, if you want to create something, all of that. But specifically when we're talking about, building revenue in your business, building your wealth, that looks like the two places that I look are your calendar and your checkbook. So I love this quote, that you can tell a person's values by looking at their calendar and their checkbook, because how you spend your time and how you spend your money reflect what's most important to you.
So you see a lot of wine.
Right.
A lot of wine expenses in my checkbook.
And hey,
lots of dinners and drinks.
That is okay, right?
And guess what's the name of my business? The social selling agencies. It's just everywhere, right? It's everywhere I want to be.
It's your brand. It's your personal brand, 100%. And if you look at that and say, oh, yes, that is where I have my fun. That is where I meet clients. That is where, then that's where you should be spending your money. If you do that to numb away the feelings of what you don't enjoy doing, then that is, that's the conversation, right? Like, what are you doing with your time and with your money that actually is in service to what you truly desire.
Yes. And I mean, we're not going to get deep into those things right now, right?
No.
Another one of my friends, Deanna Nunez, you're not on this, but she helps with hypnosis and money mindset through hypnosis, because people, all of those biases, or whatever you want to call them, shopping habits, drinking habits, eating habits, whatever you're spending your money on, are just habits.
Yeah.
You could change them. You could change them. Maybe you don't need to go on a shopping spree. That's changed for me. It really has, because my priorities shifted into my entrepreneurship. So maybe I have a shopping habit for new apps or something, but I
Right.
certainly am not shopping at, I can't even tell you the last time I was in a department store. I seriously cannot. So yeah, we all have those things. But I do see myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too, as we get closer to retirement age, it's so much happier to say, oh yeah, I put that money in savings too. Holy crap, now what am I going to do?
Right.
Right?
Yes. And so that's another piece where, so once you have to discover those desires so that you know where you want to put your money. Right. So if your desire is to, take an international trip every year, but you're not doing that, and you're spending your money on, like $300 worth of Netflix, HBO, Hulu, like everything. And you
Yes.
actually don't do, I don't spend that much time on that, but I'm spending a lot of money there. Right. That's where we can start to whittle it down. We can start to make decisions, and not even necessarily, not cut out things that you love. We don't need to cut out things that you love. We need to look at what you're doing. The second part of that discovery is to discover what you're actually doing. That would be like going to a law firm and doing discovery, right? Like what are all the pieces that are out there? And once you can see it, okay, this is what I want, but this is what I'm currently doing. Okay, so how do we, what do we adjust? Is that what you really want? Then we adjust. What are
Right.
you currently doing? How are you currently spending your money? Just like in your business with your sales, or, with like, what do you really want in your business? Do you want to make more revenue? Then you're going to have to sell more, right? So you're going to have to spend more of your time. You're going to have to calendar in more of that time towards achieving the goals that you actually want to achieve.
Revenue generating activities.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So yes, it's the alignment of, and to the same point, if you desire to spend, less time working and more time with your family, or more time traveling, or more time, walking on the beach, then that's a calendar issue. How do you spend your time? That's aligning your calendar with what actually matters to you. So that's the alignment step. And so I think we're right on time, because we'll have a little bit of time for questions and
Yes.
that. That leads to, as you discover your desires and then align your time and your spending so that you're getting to your desires, that's where the expansion piece happens. That's where, as you, start actually spending your time, right? If you want to do those revenue generating activities, as you align your time and you start doing that and your revenue starts growing, you're like, oh man, it's happening, right? It's
I was
happening.
going to try to look for comments. You guys are right. So here's my comments. All right. So let me know if you have any comments in the chat, wherever you are. Call me.
Send a text.
Yeah. Is everything changes, and I'm doing command. Oh, look, it came through on LinkedIn.
Oh yeah, there's a LinkedIn one. I see it.
Yes, that's me. All right, you guys. So yeah, this has been great. We get dug in a little bit deep, right, to understand.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies, that we didn't pick on you. We were elevating you. We were
Absolutely.
educating you. It's trying to help you with, maybe you might not be the stuck person. It could be your husband, right? Or and let's not talk about men and women, however you identify, right?
Exactly.
Being politically correct, or whatever it's called, community correct. We want to just make sure everybody has a say, and they're educated. And just like you hire a personal coach for working out or a personal coach for your business. Well, financial advisors have been around since forever, right? That's a personal coach for your money. So
exactly.
let's make sure that you're at least talking to somebody. Hannah, do you talk to people as an intake call for free?
Mhm.
How does that work? And can you put in the chat how they can get a hold of you? I think I shut all my windows. If not, I will.
Okay, so
I
this is a
can.
private chat. So how do I do the regular
I
chat?
got it right here. I got it. Here we are.
Okay. Yes. So when I work, perfect. Yes. So that is my email. That is my work email. So when I take on a new client, it has to be a good fit, right? Like we have to enjoy each other, for sure. You know, it's not a short-term contract. It's not a little, it's like we're working together. So we do spend some time in the, getting to know you, do a virtual coffee, even first, and, take 15 minutes to 30 minutes just to get to know each other. And then if it seems like, hey, if I feel like I can actually help in the right way, then we do a still complimentary exploration call, and we spend an hour really digging into, what is it that you need, and is that, am I the right solution for you, or is there someone else that you need to talk to first, right? So I love working with visionary entrepreneurs, and that would be, for the most part, people who are in that, mid to high six figures, pushing for 7 in revenue in their business, but they're still not building their business and their personal wealth at the same time. There's still this big imbalance. And so what I come in and do is help do the full analysis of what's happening in your business, what's happening in your personal wealth. How do we get everything on the same level? And how do we start building holistically and in an optimized way, so that you are achieving the goals that you set out to achieve, and that you're like building, just like it says, building a business that you love, and building a legacy, building personal wealth that will get you to your goals. So yeah, it's 100% complimentary on the front side to make sure that it's a good fit. And then from there, it's really an ongoing relationship where I'm helping you build your business and helping you build your personal wealth.
That's great. Everybody needs that.
Yeah, I hang out on LinkedIn a lot. I've been doing Instagram more. That is at hannah.chapman.cfp, on Instagram, and we'll probably have all those links in the show notes and all that, I would assume.
Yes.
Super easy.
We could put them on in there. They were in the email, I think, but I'll make sure that they're there. So I'm going to wrap the show, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is going to be on replay. So if you watch it on replay, let us know. I'll get tagged in it, and I'll make sure that Hannah has those questions if I see them and she doesn't. And I will be back next week with another show of The Art of Inspired Selling. Oh, next week? No, next week I'm local. Yes, I don't leave until the 16th.
You're going to Mexico.
Yes, I'll be gone for a month. But I do my show from Mexico too.
Excellent.
I certainly do. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Hannah, stay on. I'm going to wrap the show. We will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Art of Inspired Selling. If you need any support with developing your personal brand, with building a clarity around who you serve, what business problem you solve, and articulating those outcomes, get on a 15-minute to 30-minute call with me. I'd be more than happy to help you, walk you through that. We could talk about a LinkedIn just a little bit, your personal brand on LinkedIn, how you're showing up, however I can serve you. I am here to help. So I'm going to end the live stream. Take care, everyone, and we'll